All right, well, this is a check. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me. Can somebody let me know if you're on, if you can see me? Um, all right, we're going to go on in just a few minutes. I'm going to be talking about acupressure, trying to stay calm. Okay, great. Thanks for letting me know that you can see me. I'm just doing a, a check. I've never done this before, so I'm a little nervous. So bear with me if I'm talking too fast or I'm not making any sense or you want some other information, just let me know. I can see you, I can read it on my computer. So I'm just going to try and go with it, okay? It's a new experience for me. We've got 2 minutes to go. Um, and this is all about acupuncture and acupressure and taking care of yourself during these times. So hang on, and I'll be right back in 2 minutes. We're gonna get this show started. Kind of excited about it, a little nervous, but gotta there's a first for everything. So I'm gonna give it a whirl. I'll be right back. Okay. I am going to be looking down on occasion because I took my notes so I could be prepared and not forget anything. So we have 1 minute to go. Okay, what time is it? It's 11:59. All right. Thank you for the comment. All right, it is 12 o'clock according to my iPhone, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am Karen Siegel Propis, and I am here as one of the acupuncturists with Michigan Associates of Acupuncture and Integrative Medicine in West Bloomfield, Michigan. So we, as a clinic, decided to not see patients starting last week, and it was a really difficult decision for us because we are in the business of helping patients and being available to patients and taking care of our patients, our people. So it was a difficult decision, and we came together trying to figure out what can we do, obviously distally, virtually, to stay connected with you, our patients, and our friends. Not just our patients, but our friends too. We care about all of you who are out there watching, and we wanted to come up with a way to stay connected, but not just connected, but also to find a way how we can help take care of you. So we came together as a group of acupuncturists and decided that we would do a series of Facebook Live segments on different topics that can help with self-care and calming during these really unprecedented times. So I can speak for myself that I often wish that I had more time, a contiguous block of time to do projects, to get things done on my to-do list, to get through the papers on my desk, and I just never seem to have time. I'm always so busy. And now that I've been given, in many ways, in a inverse sort of way, the gift of time, I'm finding that I'm very busy doing very little. And I'm not getting things done that I thought that I would get done now that I've been given the gift of time. And when I realized, gee, what is going on with me? I just kind of feel so frazzled, and I know that we're living in and a lot of anxiety producing times. And if we stay plugged into the news and the media, it's enough to just, ramp up all of that anxiety. So when I looked within and just kind of tried to figure out, well, why am I having such a hard time focusing? And it's really because I'm feeling anxious. And even though I've been given all of this time, I'm anxious. And when I'm anxious, I'm not able to focus, and I get short fused, and I get irritable, and I just now snapped at my husband. He was trying to help me, and I said, I've got to get out. I've got 5 minutes before my Facebook Live, and I'm nervous. I've never done this before, so much is out of our control right now. And I think that's a big part of it for me because I'm used to being in control of things in my life. Well, nobody's really in control, are we? We just have to figure out how we're going to play the hand that we're dealt. And our world has been dealt a challenging hand, and we've got to figure out how to navigate this virus, this sheltering home, this distancing with everybody with grace, and figuring out how to do this with grace and calm is a challenge. So I'm going to tell you some of the things that I do and hopefully help show you how you can help yourself during these challenging times. One of the go-to things that I do when I get stressed, and my husband will certainly vouch for me, is that when I get stressed and anxious, what anxiety looks like for me, how it manifests is I get irritable, I get snappy, I get short fused and I snap, and I get frustrated easily. So I take a Chinese formula called Shaoyawan, which in English is free and easy wanderer. And as the name implies, because the Chinese are so beautiful in their symbolism and the way they describe things. But if you imagine what free and easy, it helps to smooth out some of that energy, and I'm known for that. That I can get there very quickly. So when I found I'm not being as consistent with my herbs, I tend to get a little bit more irritable and frustrated more readily. So I just get back on my herbs and take my Shaoyawan, my free and easy wanderer. So that's one of my fallbacks in dealing with stress. Another one, obviously, is, like I just apologized to my husband for snapping at him, is talking to your significant others, your partners, letting them know how you're feeling. What is this doing? How are you reacting to this stress of staying home and not being in control of so much that's going on in our life? So, and what does talking about it do for you? It takes it out of the realm of the mind and ruminating on these thoughts. And you may not even know that you're ruminating on them. You just kind of know that you're kind of racy. And when you put words to the thoughts in your mind, it helps you hear what it is that you're feeling. And then it's easier to put a name to it. Yes, I'm anxious. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling worried. Have cabin fever. I'm frustrated. So once you take it out of the rumination and the racing of your mind and put voice to it and speak your truth, quite often it's easier to deal with it, because it's no longer inside, you've let it out. And that's one of the benefits of talking things out, is that you can take a look at what's going on inside and more readily address it. So another way is to take a look at the behaviors that are happening. So even if you're not aware that you're ruminating and worrying, are you losing sleep? Are you emotionally eating more than you might normally? Are you having a stomach upset? Are you having diarrhea, nauseated, or have a sense of being unsettled? All of that is stress. And stress looks different on different people. It manifests differently. So what we can all do is just kind of go inward and see, what is it that we're feeling, and try and be honest with ourselves and address the anxiety and the stress that you're feeling, if you are feeling it. In addition to taking herbs for my anxiety, what I'm also doing to deal with this virus and the potential of getting sick is I'm taking some preventive Chinese herbs. One is called Ling, which is a great antiviral, and it really addresses the respiratory system. And Yin Chow, which is a great formula is an antibacterial, antiviral for upper respiratory cough and sore throat and things like that. So we have so many tools in Chinese medicine to help our patients. It's kind of exciting. I was like, my goodness, we have so much antivirals and so much wonderful, safe medicine that we can take to help ourselves. So that's something you might want to think about. If you're feeling anxious, you can call our clinic. We have also decided to be available to you for free for 15-minute consults or conversations if you have questions that you want to talk to us about. Our clinic number is 248-737-7126. And though we're not in the clinic, the phones are being forwarded, and our office manager or Julie Silver can schedule a time for you. We've made slots during the week for all of us to be available to you. So if you have any questions, feel free to call the clinic if you want to have a private conversation with us. My goal today in this Facebook Live episode is to show you through acupuncture some points that you can use on yourself to help for calming. So the points I'm going to go over today is really to help calm the mind, calm the spirit, calm your insides a little bit. But what is acupuncture really? Before I even get into it, I want to talk to you about what is acupuncture. And actually, acupuncture, the medicine of inserting very thin needles into the body started with acupuncture because the ancient doctors used a stone, a very soft stone, rounded stone, on different points in the body, and they observed what happened when they massaged or stimulated certain points on the body. They observed to see what the physical and emotional responses were when they did this. And that was really the beginning of acupuncture. So it's essentially a method of sending a signal to the body, either through acupressure or acupuncture, to turn on our own self-healing mechanisms. Normally our qi, or our vital energy, circulate through natural pathways or meridians in the body. And blockage of those pathways or meridians can create an imbalance. Your yin, your cooling, moisturizing, reflective energy, and your yang, which is your upward rising, loud energy, when it gets out of balance, can create illness and pain in the body. So acupuncture as well as acupressure can help correct some functional imbalances and therefore restore the flow to return the body to a more natural state of well-being. Personally, I think that acupuncture is great. I find that acupuncture works at a little deeper level and might last longer. So I'm more of an advocate of acupuncture and getting a full treatment. I'm giving you just kind of a quick and dirty with a few points where you can help yourself calm. But in reality, a full body treatment will last longer and work better for you. But right now we have to work with what we have, and I call that living life on life's terms. So how do you apply acupressure? You use a deep or firm pressure to massage or stimulate each point, and in just a few minutes I'm going to explain what those points are and how to find them. And then when you're massaging these acupoints, just try to relax. I mean, right now, sit in a comfortable position. I'm going to do the same thing. So when you find the point, you're just going to relax. Take a deep breath, close your eyes. I'll walk you through it, and you're going to breathe deeply. And then you repeat the massage as often as you like. There's really no problem with doing it frequently. There is no limit to the number of times that you can do acupressure. And besides massaging these points on yourself, you can teach them to a friend or partner, and they can do these points on you, and you can do these points on your friend or partner. And that way you can help each other get through these challenging times. Okay, so with that said, let's get started on a few points today. The first point I want to talk about is called pericardium 6, and it's one of my favorite points to use because it has so many wonderful benefits. I'm going to give you a little funny story. Is that when I was in clinic as a student, I guess 17 years ago, 17, 18 years ago. And we, in order to be accepted to start working on patients in the clinic, we were given, I don't even remember, 8 or 10 points, and we were given a time frame in which we had to needle these points. And I was so nervous, my hand was shaking, and we didn't know the points in advance. So our professor says, okay, I want you to needle these points, and we were treating each other, the students. And when I got this point, I was so nervous. I was so afraid of doing something wrong, that I was going to hurt the patient. And it was like a point I just never wanted to do. And now I find myself, it's one of my go-to points. It's such a great point. It has so many wonderful benefits that I find I use it almost all the time with patients. So it's called pericardium 6. And all the points I'm going to do are on the wrist. So let's just take off our watches to get started. So everybody take off your watch. I want you to get into a comfortable position. So we're taking off the watch so we can have easy access to the wrist, okay? So pericardium 6 is a really well-known point because it's marketed for motion sickness. And so you know how you can oftentimes go to the pharmacy and get one of those wristbands that they market if you get motion sickness. If you're going on a cruise, you can get one of these bands. It's a great point for motion sickness. It really targets the middle part of our body and chest. It's frequently used for upset stomach, nausea, when patients come in with morning sickness. It's a go-to point that we use. It's found on the inside of your wrist. So let's everybody turn your hand towards you, palm forward. Okay, and I want you to take 3 fingers from the inside of your wrist. I'm going to try to do it this way. Okay, so you can see. Okay, but sometimes it's hard to feel. We want to try and find the tendons. So it's located on the palm side of the wrist between 2 tendons. So if you can't feel the tendons, go ahead and just kind of make a fist and flex down, and your tendons will pop out. So I want you to feel for the space between the 2 tendons. Mine's right here. Okay, here we go. Hard to do it in this position, but it's right here. So I want you to take 3 fingers and then go down to that space between the 3 tendons, and that's pericardium 6. So put your palm facing you, do your three fingers, and then feel for that space between the tendons. Can you feel that? Okay. So what I want you to do is massage and stimulate this spot. I'm doing it too, for 4 to 5 seconds. And it's a really good point to help calm you down, to settle your stomach. It's also good for heart palpitations, nausea, even for headaches. So it's just kind of a nice go-to point. All right. Y'all doing that? Go ahead and text me if you're doing it so I can see that you're doing it. Okay. All right. Everybody have pericardium 6 down? Can you type in and let me know? All right. The next 2 points are on the heart channel. And the heart channel, besides regulating heart, blood, and energy, it helps calm the Shen. The Shen in Chinese medicine relates to your spirit. It helps calm your spirit. Your Shen is your spirit. So in addition to the pericardium point, you can use heart points. The first point is heart 7. And it's a point that's often used for emotional issues, especially excessive anxiety and worry. But as an interesting note, it's also used for heaviness and pain in your joints. So heart 7 is a really good point for if you're really anxious and worrying. Okay. So let's find heart 7. So again, on the palmar side of your wrist, you can see my nail mark for pericardium 7. But what I want you to do is start on the outside and go in right at the wrist crease. And you're going to fall right into a space. That space is heart 7. So if you're struggling with insomnia, if you're really worrying, if you're feeling really anxious, I want you to just kind of let your finger fall into this space. So you start on the outside. This is how I find it on my patients too, by the way. I just start outside and then I fall into the space. Acupuncture and acupressure points are usually in a hollow. It's not going to be on a tendon directly. It's usually in a hollow space. That's why it's called an acupuncture point. And so quite often, I mean, there are points within points on our body. We know about 360 points that have been documented, but there's points in between all of the points that we know. But it's always going to be, more than likely, in a hollow space. So if you go on the outside, go in, and you're going to, your finger is going to fall right into heart 7 if you follow these directions. So start on the outside gently, and right where it falls into that space, that is heart 7. This point helps quiet and calm the shen, your spirit, and tonifies and regulates your heart, blood, and qi. Qi is your vital energy. So it not only does it help with the organ function, but also helps with the channel function and the function of the heart channels to help quiet the spirit. The other point I want to go over with you is heart 5. And heart 5 is about 1 to 1.5 inches above heart 7. So you just kind of follow the space of the heart channel through here. You'll feel it. Here we go. Here's heart 7. So go from the space from heart 7 and then feel for a hollow area, a space in here. All of this is your heart channel, and it goes all the way to your elbow. Okay, so right now we're just going to work at heart 7 and heart 5. We're going to just find that hollow. And you can, what we can all do is just close our eyes. Take a deep breath in your nose, out your mouth. And my heart 5 is feeling a little tender right now, which means I probably need to put a needle in here or just really do some acupressure. Okay. Let's just massage it for 4 to 5 seconds. You know what? I feel a little bit calm already, and it's not hurting me as much, okay? Some other interesting points about heart 5 is it can also be used for sudden loss of voice or stiffness of the tongue, pain in the wrist and arm as a local point. It can only be treated for that. Palpitations, even severe palpitations, heart 5 is a good point for that. So it calms the spirit, benefits the tongue, and helps regulate heartbeat. And then the last point, another one of my favorite points, is called yin tong. It's not on the wrist. It's one of my patients calls this the Prozac point, and it's right here between your eyebrows. Okay, and I used to do this on my dog as he got older, Louis, who's our Bichon, who's no longer with us, but as he got older, he would have some anxiety, and I did acupuncture on him, and yin tong was one of the points I did on him to just help calm him down. But yin tong is one of my go-to points that I do on my patients because patients come in, everybody's stressed. We're living in this crazy, even without the virus, everybody's stressed. We're going and blowing and working, and my goodness, we live in such a what I call a liver society. Is that we're very, we're always rushed for time, and we're just kind of always on edge. So yin tong is a really good point, and it is actually an extra point in Chinese medicine, and it has been documented over the centuries to have a very powerful calming effect of the mind. And because of this action, it's almost always used in the treatment of anxiety, agitation, and insomnia. So what we can do is we can just, find this spot right here, and we can rub it, and we can massage it. People who do facial diagnosis often identify this point as the third eye, as its yin tang, as the name implies, it's the third eye. And often, when you give yourself permission to look within, can be a powerful window into the possibilities in life, and can give you the vision as a third eye to see the potentials and what the possibilities are in life. Quite often, if this area is red in people, it can represent anger. So it's a good point to do, especially if it tends to be red, is to just kind of massage it to help quiet the spirit. So that's really what I wanted to go over with you today. I don't even know how long. Oh, it's been a while since I've been talking for 23 minutes. My goodness. Anyway, time flies when you're having fun. I hope you were able to learn something. Remember to call our clinic if you feel like you have questions or feel like you want to talk to any one of our acupuncturists. We are here to take care of you. We want to continue to stay connected with you. And we want you to know that we are available. So feel free to call our clinic and schedule a time to talk. It is free. We're doing this during this time of sheltering for now. Anyway, so bye. Nice to see all of you, and thank you for your comments, and stay in touch. Talk soon. Bye-bye.